From the Modex floor, greetings everyone for a presentation from what we're calling an integrator's perspective. This is us looking at what's occurring in the marketplace right now and what the role an integrator plays in regards to working with customers to define and design the right type of solutions that can integrate the appropriate technology for your application. So as you see the floor today versus where we were just 2 years ago, I've seen over 70 different vendors out talking about AMRs, from videos through new technology, new players in the marketplace. And it's really our goal as an integrator to really investigate, understand the capabilities, understand those technologies. So we're educated, knowledgeable, we really do a deep dive into those products. So we have the perspective that we can bring the advice to our customers, collaborate with them, be able to show them the technologies that may be best appropriate for their applications. So I'm going to walk you through that, and afterwards we'll have some questions that we can discuss. So just for your background, if you're not familiar with the Numina Group, Dan Hanrahan and my partner Mark Woodworth, we founded it in a basement 38 years ago. We started as a custom software house, we built a controls engineering company, and we eventually evolved into one of the leading independent systems integrators in the marketplace, and we really take a customer perspective in that design. Our software platform is called RDS, Real-Time Distribution Software. It has true real-time capabilities down to 250 microsecond types response. It's a highly scalable solution, and over these years we've built all of these different modules that are connectors, and using a lot of now standard interfaces, REST APIs, connecting up AMRs, goods-to-person systems, and we'll talk a little bit about how that technology would work in regards to customers' requirements. So first thing is really warehouse automation. It's all the hot topic, all the reasons why people are investing. Many times we're having customers come to us and tell us we need to improve delivery levels. We can't get employees. We're having a shortage of workers. We want to take the mundane work out of our workers and focus them on value-added tasks. These are all the things that automation do, and AMRs are great components to be one of those automation pieces within a distribution center. They're not the overall solution, they're a component that really can make you more productive. That's the perspective that we really want to bring home, as picking and choosing the right AMRs for the application the customer's trying to solve. So that starts with really a collaborative process design. How do we define, design, and implement the right solution for a customer? Data-driven design, so we can look at your applications and look at your requirements, process first, design better, more efficient processes, then look at how do we select the technologies that really are best suited. We had a customer stop by our booth and we were talking to them a little bit. They had a smaller warehouse, and when they we're all excited about AMRs. We looked at it, we said, you know, you're probably better just using a batch push cart, because there's not enough walk time that's going to be taken out of your distribution center if you're working in a small 50,000 square foot facility. You get into larger facilities, or you look at conveyor systems, or you look at AMRs, you want to contrast their throughput, their capability, and the safety factors and some of the things that you can do with the AMRs. That's being done and flushed out really in that design. So we get a blueprint to tell us how do you go forward. So now you look at the different AMRs. They're coming in all these different varieties. What are we looking at as an integrator when we're selecting those? We're looking at payloads. We're looking at capacity to drop, pick up carts. Do we have stationary AMRs that are going from point to point with totes on them? Or are we pulling a batch cart or a pallet cart? So all of those different factors come into play, but one of the key things that a software systems integrator is doing is really flushing out in our tech center the software that we need to connect in. The goal is the AMRs, they need to have a fleet manager, number one, that really has all the functionality that we can connect up to, dispatch, detach the work tasks, the work requirements, and the AMRs need to accomplish their missions independent of software. We don't want to be down writing software, down at the robot level in Ross. Even though we can do those types of things, we want the AMRs to be self-sustained, a complete solution. So we flush out the partners and ensure that they have those technologies for us to go forward with the right type of solutions. So again, they come in all different varieties. One of the companies that we are selected, and we're actually showing some of their autonomous mobile robots at our booth at this show today, is a company called Adverb. Again, we look for them and we like the idea that they have a complete fleet, a complete solution from conveyor top AMRs, picking AMRs, small bots. I know I show on the slide that they go from a certain weight load. Well, they actually go from more like 20 pounds to 3,700 pounds. So there's a wide variety of capabilities of robots that are really well suited for the tasks at hand, the picking, the moving of products, and the sorting of products. They have that whole family of technologies available for applications. The other thing we look for is capacity. We have customers that will look at picking robots and say, well, they only have an 80-pound capacity, and I handle automotive parts, and I need to be able to pick loads in a real dense manner, and the larger carts give us an opportunity to send out a robot on a mission and pick 20, 30 orders possibly, or in a high weight order capacity like automotive components where it may be a 35 to 70 pound order. The capacity needs to be in that 900 to 1,200 pound capacity, and they make a family of robots that really meet that requirement. The other thing that we've really see is how do we take the robots and integrate them with people? And the technology we're using to do that is voice picking. So what we can do is send the robots out on their missions, and also send the people out and match the robots and people together, unify them in the process. Voice is excellent for that. Hands-free, mobile computers, voice directions, along with scan validation of each of the different tasks. That really drives productivity up in the picking, and it unites the people working with the robots. So the other thing as a systems integrator we bring is we're not just robots. We can integrate within the process manual picking tasks too. So if it's more appropriate, let's say at the end of the day you have an order that needs to go out, it's a single order, do I send a robot that's really designed to do large batch order picking that could pick 25 orders, or do I send a person out with just a manual pick cart? So the software, being that it came from and evolved from batch manual pick carts, we built that software in. So you always have backup, and you also have technology that is well suited to match the application. Single order pick, a standard batch pick cart, or the autonomous mobile robot cart all come to play and run in the same application. This gives you a little bit of example of where the architecture works. The ERP WMS is dropping orders to the warehouse execution control layer, where it's optimizing the orders, selecting the right orders, taking prioritization into account, and building orders out in batch to increase that density of the picking. So it's going to select orders and put orders onto and assign those orders to a batch pick cart that allows you to essentially visit a location, drive the person to meet the AMR batch cart at that location, and execute possibly 5 to 6 picks across the group of orders that are on that cart. So driving up picking density drives up productivity. And what we've been able to do is accomplish that extremely effectively. We now have solutions that we have put in where the client is getting 250 picks per operator on average. So now we're driving up picking productivity of using AMRs with dense batch pick carts at the same levels that are close to what you see with robotics goods to person solutions. Makes them much more viable for small to mid-sized companies that are looking to really get that productivity boost in their operation. Good example is a client that we put the system in. Pleasantly surprised at the performance they got. One of the areas besides driving the high picking productivity is an increase in the packing productivity, because the AMRs are being brought to the pack stations, assigned to the open pack stations, and it's always putting a cart in the queue. So while an operator may be packing out and completing the work tasks for shipping the product, another AMR is bringing in and keeping in the queue another pick cart. So it keeps that productivity up. And we united that with pack and ship automation conveyors. So it's important to consider all of the components that are needed within a order fulfillment operation. It's not just picking, it's not just packing, it's shipping. So you need to unite those technologies, and with inline scanning, weighing, print and apply labeling, automating the manifesting process, sorting to the right carrier lanes, all of those technologies are united with our RDS warehouse execution software. So again, now we start looking at AMRs and goods to persons. And there's been a real jump in productivity that you'll see from AMRs used in goods to persons right now. So robotics goods to person is really a technology that we're starting to see a lot of interest from small, mid-sized to large-sized customers. And the pricing of these solutions have really come down to be affordable across almost every industry. The technology I'm showing here is Geek Plus. We are a partner of theirs. There's several different solutions similar to theirs, but we like that uniting our workforce or our technology with the second largest autonomous mobile robot player. We know we've got strength behind it, and we also have proven software that they've put in hundreds of systems. So it makes our customers more effective bringing in technologies we know that are proven. So the performance levels that you're now seeing from AMRs in a goods-to-person system, it's now driven up to that 300 or beyond type pick rates at the pick stations. And that's being done by what I call the divide and conquer. If you walk the floors or you see the technologies that are available, videos out from some of the leading suppliers, you'll see they're now using multiple AMRs working together within a goods-to-person system to drive that productivity up. This is a good example of a first case. These are the traditional goods-to-person where the AMR is going out, picking up the shelf cart, bringing those to the pick station. It's a swarming technology where multiple AMRs are working together. But the secondary thing you see is at the pick stations itself, where you see the put walls, what's occurring is the AMRs that are bringing the picking to the system, as the picks are completed and the puts are completed by the operator, now you see AMRs taking that work away and dropping it onto the conveyor. So eliminating the people that need to work at the back side of the wall. So it's a first example of uniting AMRs in a goods-to-person system with dual technologies. So these the picking robots, what are they doing? They're getting larger and more capacity. And that larger capacity means they can move, just like we were talking about a little earlier, larger batch carts with larger weight capacity that could be used in picking applications, case picking, pallet moving applications. Same technologies in play with the AMRs. They're now up over 2,600 pound loads. What that allows is these small robots that are working in a swarming manner can move larger loads to the pick stations. And this is an example of a new technology, or saying combined technology from Geek Plus again, called Pop Pick. And Pop Pick allows the movement from 60 to 72 totes at one time. And at a pick station, they can bring up to 2 of these at a time. So you think about the density of picks of product that are now being brought to the pick stations. You could have from 1 to 6 or 8 products within that tote, and you have then the ability to get more dense picks at those pick stations, which then drives your pick rates. Instead of being, say, 1 pick from a tote, you have an opportunity with put walls with active 32 to 36 orders at those walls, an ability to be able to get 1.2, 1.3 lines every time you touch that tote. So the delivery is really important. The secondary robotic and also storage flexibility. So I'll add that, where you can have mixes of the large tote capacity pallets and also shelf carts being brought to the pick stations, all working together in the same solution. And then really what makes the Pop Pick type technology work is that secondary robot. By combining a pick and place robot with the main robot doing the delivery, the operator is not picking from the totes. The totes are being picked by a pick-and-place robot. The right robot's being picked from up to 2 of those delivery bots at the same time, bringing the right totes and the right sequence of orders to complete the order fulfillment picking process. So again, that's driven that rate up because of the divide and conquer aspect that's being done in these new generation robotics goods-to-person picking systems. I'm going to skip the videos. You can see these online. We'll have some links that will show you where to go to see videos such as the Geek Plus technology, your adverb technology for later on in the discussions. Just go through the video. The second example of this divide and conquer robot that's been released in the last 6 months is the Robo Shuttle from Geek Plus. And there's several companies in this technology. Interesting here is the reach capacity. So the first generations went up to 13, 14 feet. Now you have autonomous mobile robots that can go down very narrow aisles that can pick it up to 26 feet high. So you can get very dense, double deep. They can pick either the front tote or the back tote, double deep. So it's really a 4-tote, very dense storage with the robots being able to go down the aisles, do the pick. And you can see the different models here and their capacity, basically 85-pound capacity within a tote. Again, you can divide that as a single tote capacity, or it could be multiple SKUs within that same tote. And then they're using a divide and conquer approach, the Robo Shuttle, where these little small shuttle bots are working in parallel with the large pick robots. The idea is to keep the robots, the picking robots with the large reach, keep them in the aisles picking. As they pick, they have, I call it the backpack. They can take those totes, store them on the back of the unit as they complete their picks, look for open locations on the bottom level, and be able to take those and eject those into storage locations. And then a signal, of course, is sent to these small transport bots that will go to those locations, pick up the bots, and deliver those in sequence to the pick stations. Again, there's videos that you can see online, and we'll have links for you to watch those. But what that's done, again, is drive those picking rates up to 350, 400 deliveries of totes. Now, that's where we start getting challenged. I don't think a human being can pick beyond consistently 250 an hour. You know, when you think of working, you may start off in the beginning of the day, you may hit this 300, may hit this 350 rates, but eventually fatigue sets in. 250 is a good standard. And that's where that next generation is really coming from. I don't have examples. I'm here at the show myself, learning and seeing and exploring who's got the right technologies to add picking robots to replace the individuals, especially with delivering the right types of SKUs that are made for their grippers. And that's the things we can do in our software, making sure orders are assigned to certain pick stations and that picking process utilizes SKU deliveries or orders that require SKUs that can usually use autonomous mobile robots or picking robots to pick those items and place them into the put walls themselves. That technology is really readily becoming available. I think it will be integrated very shortly into our next generation systems. So the last really example as we go through the use of AMRs, we talked about picking, storage, moving, is sorting. And you'll see that again, examples all throughout the floor. This is examples that, again, there's a whole wide variety of different robots. We have a video we can show of this, or we'll have a link that you can take a look at that video online. This gives you an example of how they orchestrate and dance together, where product can be inducted on them and moved. And again, their capacities just 6 months ago were really limited to typically 40 pounds. On the floor today, and a couple of the vendors we're discussing, the Adverb technology, the Geek Plus, they're now at 85-pound capacity, so you can move pretty heavy loads and be able to induct them off of a conveyor with a conveyor top, bring them to a location, and be able to discharge them, say, to a pallet build location. And if they're all sealed, packed, full cartons or repacked cartons, you can then look at robotics or vacuum assist for the operators in regards to doing that final pallet build for, say, a large LTL order. As I was saying, they come in all different varieties, sizes. Again, the application, the process, it's important to make sure design first, then start looking at how do we do that selection of what's that right technology. So in ending, just wanted to say, you know, it takes more than just autonomous mobile robots. It's a piece of the component within an order fulfillment solution. And we look at across the operations, what are all of the technologies that magnify that process and, you know, reduce labor, increase efficiencies, and drive accuracy to an order fulfillment solution. And that's the role that a good integrator plays. Open, transparent, working with the client to ensure that whatever we're selecting, whatever we're recommending, it's in their best interest. Thank you again for attending. And please visit us at our booth if you're at the show, or visit us at our website, numinagroup.com. Thank you.